Hi, I'm Renee.
And I'm Debbie, and together
We are the Roundtable Recap. Hey, welcome back to the season finale of the Celebrity Traitors season 1. And kicking it right off is breakfast, and they all come in one by one, and they kind of recap their journey on the Traitors. And Nick, he says that he's thinking that he suspects Kat, and that's really all I got for breakfast because nobody got eliminated. I mean, it was really just a recap since this is the last episode.
Yeah.
And then after, though, this is where Nick and Joe, they do try to rope in David to vote for Kat because they both believe that Alan and Kat are traitors, which I'm like, okay, I think the Faithfuls might, win this at this point because they got each one 100%, marked right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Nick did say, even though he was talking to Joe, he did say he wasn't sure if he could trust Joe 100%. And he said that he could trust David more than he trusted Alan.
Mhm.
So, yeah, it does seem like, that they're heading in the right direction.
All right. And I mean, this was really all the discussion that took place before then they start the mission, their final mission, which is the train, and they have to go through each carriage to get a key and then to unlock the final barrels. But
Yeah, this reminded me of like an escape room, is what it reminded me of.
Yeah, it did because the first one is the one that they struggled with the most. And I think it was Alan maybe who
Yep.
realized like bullseye or
Don't
something.
rip. R.I.P.
Rip. That's right. Because I just remember them ripping the portraits to get the different combination, the numbers for the
Yeah.
combination.
Yeah, I don't even know. It was surprising that it was Alan who figured it out. I would thought Nick, who was really good at puzzles, that he would have figured it out. But yeah, all of a sudden Alan is like, wait a minute, R.I.P. Rip.
Yeah. 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 So that
Yeah.
was really good because they burnt a lot of time up
Yeah.
in that first car. That first carriage. Yeah, because the second one, they're already down half of their time. But luckily it was just the number of votes. So they, just tried to hurry up and grab all the, chalkboard for the votes of the names to get the number. Which I
Yeah.
thought that one was the easiest out of all of them. I mean, they just had to make sure that they didn't miss any, but it's the most
Yeah.
obvious.
And the thing is that you could put in as many combinations as, there wasn't a limit. It wasn't like you
Like
had to do it like
first
the first
mission.
time.
Like
With the lever.
yeah, the first mission, she guessed one and just pulled it and was like, I didn't know.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
figured if they were in the ballpark, like they said 58, then, and I think it was Joe that was doing the combination. Well, then the thing, they knew they had 58. Then the thing is just to keep going, 59, 60,
Mhm.
61. Yeah.
Yeah, which is really smart because I think he was trying the different combinations while everyone was recounting. So
Right.
it worked out that they did it that way. And then the third one is just to unchain the coffins. I mean, they were just going through it real quick because all of them obviously were nervous about the time.
Yeah. But that, who was it that said, it might have been Kat that just said, yeah, they just stood back and just watched Joe just pull the
Yeah,
chain.
yeah.
Yeah.
Joe was the one who, used his muscles to do it. Yeah, which was good. I mean, they were able to make up, once they got past that first one, they were able to make up time quickly. And then the
Right.
fourth one was a Nick because they had to dig up the coal or dig through the coal, and he just gets in and starts
Yeah.
digging away
Like,
himself.
yeah. He wanted to get all the money for the mission. And because everybody was saying, let's just go with what we have. And he just gets in and starts
Yeah,
digging.
kind of remind me of a cat in a litter box.
Yeah.
Like just dig her. But yeah, because at this point they had less than 6 minutes to work with, but really when he jumped in, I mean they were down to I don't even know a minute or two, or it was
Right. Yeah.
really really close.
Yeah.
Um, and then I liked this because again, there's Claudia. They get off the okay, well, I had to laugh at the way that they're, especially Kat ready with the bags, and like she's got this big grin on her face, like
So,
like running to Claudia. But there's Claudia, and she like even hugs them. Like Claudia
yeah.
was like
Yeah.
so. It was like she was part of the team in
Yes.
this
Yeah.
season. It was great to
Yeah. Yeah.
watch.
Yeah. She was really into it. Yeah. I think I liked it because you got to see more of Claudia's personality come out, because usually she's just very so straight,
Hmm.
unemotional, like no emotions. And so I think with this season, yeah, you got to see more of her personality come out.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
which was fun to watch.
Yeah.
Um, so moving after the mission, so obviously they got, the max that they could get. Uh, this is where again, Alan and Kat, they plan to stick together
Right.
and they think that they're 100% in alliance with Joe and that they have Joe on their side and they're all gonna try to get David out. Like that's the first person that they're gonna go for, and then after that, they're gonna try to get Nick out is the plan.
Right.
And but on the flip side, this is where also Nick and David they talk more about suspecting Alan. But yeah, there's a plan to obviously get Kat out at this point, which
Right.
Alan and Kat are unaware of.
Yeah. Because I think, again, it goes back to the fact that
Only
she's the last.
female.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's hard to ignore because the traders have never been all men.
Yeah.
So,
Or all
yeah.
female, unless it was like a recruit situation. But at
Right.
that point, they already got out, whatever opposite
Right.
sex it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then
Uh,
moving to the round table.
well, the thing I will say about Joe, because Joe's playing two sides.
Mhm.
He's saying he's going to vote with Nick and David, against, going for Kat. But then
Mhm.
with Alan and Kat, he's saying he's going to vote for David. So when you put yourself in that position, I mean, you have to make a decision when it comes to the round table because Nick and David are going to vote for Kat. Alan and Kat are going to vote for David. So you have to make a decision.
Yeah.
You are going to be the tiebreaker. And in doing that, you're going to make somebody mad. So,
Yeah. Yeah. And what you see at the round table, because obviously we already know going into it, he's going to be the deciding vote on which way he's going to sway. Although, really not, because he's already suspected Kat up to um, this round table. So, I mean, you already know that he's going to vote for Kat. And, um,
yeah, the thing I didn't understand is okay, so you're at the round table. This should be because this is the last round table.
yep.
And so this should be a time to try to get more information about the traders because a lot of them think that there's still two traders left.
Mhm.
I don't understand his strategy at the round table because he goes for Allen, which he said that he's going to vote for David, but he's going for Allen. And then Alan goes for Joe, and then Joe goes for Kat. It's like, wait a minute, you're supposed to be in this alliance, and I don't know, maybe it was Joe's way of showing Nick and David that they were traitors. I don't know. I don't understand his strategy at the round table
Yeah.
because then but then David also goes for Joe, so it's like
Yeah,
they're,
I
they're
I didn't understand I didn't understand that either because
yeah,
yeah, as you said, they're all going for the people they said that they were working with. But
yeah,
I think, I mean, the only thing I can think of, I really don't understand David's point too. Joe because he's like, "You're so difficult to read, and I don't know where you stand."
Right.
But in the
Yeah.
meantime, he's counting on Joe to like follow through with what
Right.
he's voting for.
Right.
But
They're all going after each other, and it's like, wait a minute.
yeah, yeah, like
This is the last.
yeah,
But and then the very last thing is that Alan was going for David, and then Joe goes for David as well. It's like, wait,
yeah,
yeah, which way are you going? Because Joe went for Alan and Kat, and then now he's going for David. It's like,
yeah,
no,
yeah. Which I think that didn't help in the end for Joe because, well, we know at the round table that Kat is the one who gets the most votes, and even Joe before he or as he says it or something, he says, "I'm sorry, Kat," because he feels bad for voting for Kat, which again, like Joe just didn't help himself at all at this round table. With not picking or sticking to the plan of getting Kat
right,
out and then saying I'm sorry because it really did you know obviously play into the next part of after the round table where they're in that what is it called
oh,
fire.
the end
Yeah,
game.
the
Oh,
ending. Yeah, the
yeah,
end game.
yeah, fire or yeah,
Yeah, where everyone. Oh, and on top of that, it also, well, Alan already wants Joe out, but Alan uses the information from the roundtable that Joe went after him to also vote for Joe because they all decide that there's still another traitor amongst them,
right,
and all three of them go for Joe,
yeah.
and
Well, I thought that was smart for Alan to do that because it did make him look like a faithful, like he had a legitimate reason for going after Joe. Um, because he disclosed, Joe was going to go, was part of the little team, and now Alan wants, what did he say? Wants some revenge or wants,
yeah,
I forget
I
what he
forgot
said.
the wording, but I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, I thought it was good too, and I know I skipped another part of this. But yeah, because when everyone voted or threw their color, when Claudia threw their color in, Alan's the only one that called out someone and thinking that, Joe's a traitor, where all the other three were like, well, I just think there's another traitor amongst the group. But they didn't at that time specifically say like who they were going to vote for or who they thought was the traitor.
right. Yeah, that's why I thought it was good. That was a good play on Alan's part.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I mean, before they even move to this part though, each one sit down with Claudia and say like kind of where they're leaning towards or who they
right.
suspect. And Nick brings up the fact that Joe said that he was sorry for Kat, which he thought was suspicious. um
Right.
Joe, of course, we already know he's 100% going for Alan. Alan just says he can't trust anyone because of
Hmm.
how Joe, which I mean
Right.
it doesn't even matter, he's a traitor, so it's a
Right.
mute point. But um David is now looking at who he distrusts the most is who he's going to vote for. And then, yeah, so Nick is the only one really. I mean, David too is uncertain, but at this point, you really thought Nick and Joe were going to, even though he trusts David more, I thought there's a possibility that he was going to stick it out with Joe and get Alan out of the game.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Joe saying, apologizing to Kat for voting for her, raised suspicions. And then I think with Alan's reasoning why he was, I mean, because if you're a traitor, you usually want the game to end as soon as possible. So, and I again like the way that Alan played it to make it look like Joe was a traitor. I really liked that. Um,
Yeah, because it works. So they get out Joe, and then they all vote again. So it's just David, Nick, and Alan, and all of them vote to end the game. And then this is
yeah, but
where, oh,
I was gonna say, yeah, after Joe is voted out, he makes it may have been when he was outside with but he makes that, or I don't know when he said it, if it was in a confessional, but he said that he was upset because he was stabbed in the back. I'm like, you did the same thing to Cat at the round table.
Yeah.
How can you be upset when you just did it to somebody else?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know
Yeah.
when he said that either. I'm not too
It
sure.
might have been a confessional. I know obviously it was after he was voted out. Um, so I might have been in the confessional.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, no, no. You can't
Yeah.
be upset because you just did it to somebody else.
Yeah. You just did it to Kat, who you've been in an alliance with pretty much this whole series, this whole
Right, right,
season.
right.
So,
Yeah. So
uh,
now the final three.
final three, and they all choose to end the game. And this is where they find out that Alan's a traitor. And he's like, he's crying. I felt so bad for Alan. And he's like, woo.
I know. But did you see even before? Of course, obviously, you know that Alan is going to be asked last.
Mhm.
Are you for their true identity? But did you see, like, as soon as the game ended, right? Alan was like, he had that big smile. But then when they started saying, I am and always
Yeah.
have been a faithful, you could see Alan starting to get sadder and sadder. And I
Yeah.
just felt so bad because
Yeah.
I think the realization, he was happy he won, but the realization, that he betrayed these two.
Yeah. Yeah. It was
I
all
know.
fun and games until he was like, oh, yeah, that's right. I got to now confess that I screwed them over and they lost.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because did you see their reaction when he said that he is and always has been a traitor? Like
Yeah.
they were devastated.
Flabbergasted.
I forget.
Yeah.
And then I like, because, again, there's videos out on the internet and stuff, about the ending, but, they're like, who other than Alan Carr could get two faithfuls to support him
I know they were both
after,
consoling him. Yeah, they were like, no, no, think of the
I
charity. You
know,
did great. You
I know,
were awesome. Like everyone else would have been mad and pissed off that they just lost to a traitor.
I know. It was such a good ending.
It was.
It was a good season. It was, yeah, one of my favorite. I know, like, there's criticism about, just being how the game was played and against the faithfuls and stuff, but I really think that it just shows the strength of the traders, the way that they played the game.
Hmm.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a really good season. So it's gonna be hard if they come out, which I'm sure they'll be coming out with a season two. It's gonna be a hard one to beat, but
Yeah, but I hope that any future traders, because what we just watched, Traders US, and we saw all the backstabbing against the traders.
yeah,
You
not
with
working together.
uh, yeah, oh my gosh, Danielle and Carolyn, that whole
Yeah.
mess. And then you go to this celebrity traders, and you just see how well they did. And I just hope that future traders take note.
Yeah. Of the do's and do nots of being a trader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to play the game and not,
Take it so
and
personal either.
yeah,
Remember that it's a game at the end of the day.
yeah, yeah, because they all maintained their integrity, I thought. As far as the traders, I thought they
Mhm.
maintained their integrity throughout the game. Like, I don't think, and I think that's why David and Nick, basically supported or, consoled Alan at the end, is because he he didn't do, he played the game well, and and he stayed true to himself.
100%. It was a good cast, a good cast. So
It was.
that
Yeah.
ends the season one Celebrity Traders. Stay tuned while we roll into the new US Traders. We'll see you guys there.
Yay.